And welcome back to the Conversation Podcast. I'm Lou Barreto. The conversation last few months, we had a chance to talk to many different candidates running for mayor. But now we're doing candidates who are running for council at large. And we've got a few candidates who came in here. And, we just want to give an opportunity for people to kind of, talk about, what their platforms are. Because a lot of times during the debates, you can't really express your whole point. So we want to give the opportunity for different people to do that here on this podcast. We're here with Rita Mendes. Rita's new to the council at large game, but definitely we haven't had a chance to get to know her. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Newbie. It's an honor to be here and to be a part of this program today.
Thank you so much, and I think it's important for the listeners to see what's going on with different candidates. So before I even talk about anything, I always like to say, who is Rita Mendes?
And that is a great question, because I know that when I started this campaign, a lot of people didn't know who I was. And then they started seeing the big 4x8 signs. So it has been a big challenge for me, this entire campaign and this journey that I've taken on. So Rita Mendes, that is a great question. So at this point, I am a practicing attorney in the city of Brockton, but when I say that, maybe people think, oh, she's an attorney and it's easy, but no, I had a long road to get here. So I started, when I came to this country, I didn't speak English, I attended public education all through the entire process. And then from there, I became a real estate agent, so I'm also a real estate broker. I have over 14 years of experience, and I didn't have too much of parenting guidance. I pretty much, from my teen years, my mother, she had to return to Brazil for a period of time because she had other things going on. And I pretty much, inside the Brockton public education, that's where I found my support to go on, continue my studies, my education, go through school. And today I'm proud to say that I have a small law practice in Brockton. I'm helping people in the community. I do some pro bono work as much as I can because I'm a solo practitioner. So I'm really just a true Brocktonian that I want to give back to my community. So I'm very happy to be running, very happy to be here, and I'm very happy throughout this whole campaign and how much I've learned this far.
So just talk about, when you're knocking on doors and meeting different people, what are you hearing? What are some main concerns that you're hearing from the community that you want to address when you get in office?
And that is a great question, because just this weekend, I've been walking in an area which is Ward 7 at a part of an area there, and I came through to this door, and this family has 5 people there on the list that they're active voters. So I figured that everybody would be knocking on their doors. So I came and I approached her and I started talking to her and telling her my platform, who Rita is and why I'm running. And she was so impressed. She told me that it was the first time in 15 years that anybody has ever knocked on her door. So I know there's a lot of people running. I know everybody's trying to get to as many doors as possible. But when I come to a door and people tell me this is the first time someone has ever taken the time to really come to my door and ask for the vote, so I'm definitely voting for you. And she said, my son is in Brockton High School. I want to get involved in the city, and I don't know how because I work in Boston. So by the time I get to Brockton, there's so much has already been going on, and I don't have time to get to the meetings. So I want to reach the entire population of Brockton. I really want to go out there, make myself available to the people, letting them know I'm here, letting them know they count, letting them know they can get engaged, they can have a seat at the table, and I want to make sure that I reach as many people as possible.
Let's talk about, there's a lot of good candidates running. What separates you from the others? I know you mentioned you're into real estate and things like that. I mean, how is that experience going to help you into the council seat?
Yeah, and that is a great question. So in real estate, we see right now that there's so many developments going on in market rate housing and the affordable housing, all of this different projects and developers. So it's great to have someone that's a real estate expert that can take a look at that. Also part of as a city councilor, you get to draft ordinances, you get to approve the budget. So these are skills that as an attorney you have a legal experience to look into that. So I'm the only attorney running for at-large at this point. We had Bob Sullivan, but now he's running for mayor. So I believe that I do possess the skills necessary to become an effective city councilor.
Your slogan is a very interesting slogan. Actually, I love the slogan. It said, not a politician, but a mother. What does that mean?
That is a great question. And what it means is when you come to the table, not politically motivated, because I'm not really saying anything bad or anything about politicians. I just mean that my personal motivation as a mother. Because as a mother, you're there to fight for your children. You're there to fight for justice. You're there to really represent people as a mother would represent a child. And I think that is pretty powerful. Once we come to the table as a mother, then we're looking to do the right thing for the city of Brockton. So instead of having my personal agenda or be politically motivated, first I am a mother to really there to represent, make sure that our kids are safe, make sure that our students in our schools, they are well taken care of. They have all of the tools necessary that they need to succeed because they are the future leaders of this city, and we should invest in our kids. So that is something that I genuinely believe on, and I am proud to say that I am a mother and not a politician. I've never been a politician. I'm not one, and everything is new to me, all the spotlight and all the debates and all the different things. So the entire experience for me has just been amazing. I've learned so much.
Working for city council, what would you like to see in terms of business for the city? I mean, a lot of people talked about the casino. That seems like it's not going to be the case. There's some talk about having it over at the fairgrounds. A lot of people talking about having some development over on the south side of Brockton. Kmart's going to be closing. That's kind of a Shaw Supermarket is no longer over there. What would you like to see come into the city in terms of business?
Yes, that is a great question because right now we're creating that demand just by the downtown development that it's going on. So by creating that demand, hopefully more companies will want to invest in Brockton. So we do need to market our city. At this point, there's still that negative perception of Brockton, so we need to ensure that safety is our top number one priority, because that way then we'll have companies and businesses that will want to invest in Brockton, that will want to bring in their businesses. And as to Kmart, unfortunately, Amazon and all the online stores is really hurting our retail, and this is nationwide. This is not just a Brockton problem. So I believe that we should definitely make it easier and more business friendly, because I do know some companies, they want to bring in their business to Brockton and it just takes forever to get things approved by the city council, and then they have to go to so many different steps. They don't know which step they should be doing first, so they are lost throughout this process. Maybe having a department that could just help them out, make things a little bit easier, more effective, letting them know what are the steps need to be taken, and just more business friendly, so that way the companies will want to invest in the city of Brockton. So at this point, we're moving towards the right direction because we're creating that demand, and I have hopes and I believe that we will get to a point where businesses and companies will want to come in and invest in Brockton and bring in more jobs and bring in more opportunities for the city of Brockton. So I'm happy to see what we've been accomplishing, and I know we're going to be doing so many more great things in the city.
I'll ask you about public safety. And actually, a few weeks ago, I asked a few of the candidates, there was an ugly incident over at the high school. There's some fights going on, and it bled to outside the school. There's some videos about, some things happen with police officers, and there's obviously two sides to every story. How would you improve community and police relations?
So I have to tell you, when we were little kids, maybe our parents, when they wanted us to be quiet, they would tell us, just be quiet because then the wolf will come and eat you, something like that. But now it has changed. Now when we want our kids to be quiet, then we tell them, make sure you behave, because if you don't behave, then the police will come and get you. All the police. So inside their homes, the parents is already somewhat scaring their kids towards the police, that hostile look and environment. They're the enemy and I am the target, something like that. So that whole mentality needs to change. I did knock on a police officer's door, and she was telling me about that she is a police officer in Boston but lives in Brockton, and she was telling me she hears that and she sees the little kids, and she goes on to the little kids and she tells them, I am not your enemy. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to work on your side. And the police officers, a lot of times, they are the first ones that sees the teens are starting to get in trouble. So instead of penalizing them right away, getting them to become a delinquent at that early stage, maybe pull them aside and wake them up, give them a wake-up call and tell them, hey, listen, you have a bright future ahead of you. You don't need to do these things. You can become a good person, a better person, go on to schools and do the right thing, because I know it's possible. I grew up with barely no parenting as a very young age, and I became an attorney. Today I'm an attorney, so I know that our schools, we do have people there who cares, that can really work with these teens and make them be bright futures of this city, and I believe that. So I do think that the whole mentality against the police officer, it needs to change from our homes, our parents, just how we talk about them. And it's not going to be something that's going to change overnight. It's going to take the entire community to work together, to know the police is here to protect us, to make us safe. And it's going to be more foot patrol, more people, more police officers that look like the community, that can speak the language, that'll be walking our neighborhoods, that's going to be earning our trust. And it's going to be a process, but I know that we can do it together. We can do it together, working with our teams, with our police department, and just making this city as a safer place. And I'm looking towards to that.
Absolutely. Talk about how important is it to have diverse candidates and to have candidates that reflect the community, but the importance of that, and obviously we want diverse qualified candidates. Talk about the importance of having someone that looks like you, that's representing you.
Yes, and that is a great question. I like to speak about diversity, but I also like to speak about quality. So we need to earn our seat at the table as well. And we do have many qualified diversity people running. And this is great because we see that our city hall is already changed, and it's already a much more diverse city hall as it used to be. So it's good for someone from my community or from a different community to know and to understand they can come and they can speak to us in their language, and that we'll understand the differences in cultures and all that, and be able to get both worlds, because then we have the people who are from this country, were born here, that never had that outside experience with a different culture, and bringing those two communities together, because we are in the same city, we're working together, we're going to the same schools, we are together, so we need to bring them together and make one understand the other. This is what this person in this country, in this community means, and we are together as one Brocktonia, because we are all residents of this city. We're all hardworking people. We all want the same goals. We all want safer streets. We all want what is best for Brockton. So having someone that they can relate to, that they can talk to, that they can approach, that they know will understand them, that they know it will embrace their needs, I think it's important. And I think it's important to represent the entire city overall.
When you go into the council, what's your top two priorities? And sound like it's a mayor where you're the CEO. City council, you have to work with the team. It's a team of 10 other people. You're kind of like the board of directors. That's like to see it. Mayor's is CEO, and the city council board of directors. What are some top priorities, 1, 2 that on the first few weeks that you really kind of want to tackle?
So you've already mentioned a few, so definitely it's going to be education, because as a mother, you're very concerned with education, because that is our future. This is how we're going to ensure that crimes is going to go down. We're going to ensure that we're going to get the city to keep on moving forward, because we're training our future city councilors, we're training our future mayors. So I believe that continue to work with the school department, ensuring that they have all the necessary tools that they need, and especially for students that don't have parents at home that can speak English, with homework help, after school help, just more after school programs, and keeping these kids busy and letting them know what different activities in sports, and just really as much as we can. I know that money is always an issue, so it's hard, and no matter how hard we wanted to see the school department keep on thriving, there's always different players and challenges, but if we all work together, I believe we can continue to improve that, and it's a great educational system here in Brockton I'm very proud of, and continue to work on safety, because safety is our also number one priority, because if we don't provide safety, then the businesses will not want to invest in Brockton, because they know if they do invest in Brockton by 6 o'clock, they're going to have to close down, because if they don't close, then they're afraid that they might get robbed or anything like that. So that is awful that they don't have that protection. So always insurance, that community police, and that engagement in our schools department, and providing that to our students, just sending on that message. No matter how hard life is at home, no matter if you got support at home, that inside the school department we can provide that to them, and to ensure that they'll have the necessary tools to succeed in life and to continue on with the education and going to higher education, going to Massasoit, and just continue on and not giving up on their dreams, because the American dream is real, and I believe that, and I lived through that, and this is a great city, and I owe so much, and that's why I'm running.
You are really the definition of the American dream. It's really cool to see so many different candidates running and fulfilling that American dream, which is a beautiful thing. Anything you want to mention that I didn't mention during the last 15 minutes or so that you want to say to the listeners?
Yeah, so I really want to thank all of those who put their trust in me and to voted me into this the general election on November 5th, coming up so close. And it's really, I'm very humbled by that, because I know that people, they looked at me and they gave me their vote, they trusted me. So I wanted to continue to earn that, and I want to work for the city, I want to work for this community, I want to be approachable, I want to be relatable. Everybody can come and can approach me, can talk to me, and I really am a people's person. I've always been in business, in real estate, as an attorney. So just like I advocate for my clients at work, I want to advocate for the city. I want to advocate for those, give a voice to those who don't have a voice, because knowledge is power, and to be able to be there and giving them that access directly, so that way I'll know firsthand what their needs are and how I can really assist the community. And this is really what I want to do. I want to impact the city and just continue on doing this work, this beautiful work, and just being there, helping these different organizations. There's so many great nonprofit organizations that are working with different communities. So I just want to be an asset, just want to be there for them. And if they need me, and just offer my help, and just absolutely be there. But I'm so humbled that so many people trusted me with their vote. And I count that they'll come back and vote for me again on November 5th, and hopefully I'll become one of the 4 city councilors.
Well, wish you the best of luck. I mean, I can see that you're very genuine. So November 5th, to all listeners out there, you be sure to make your voice be heard, and wish you the best of luck. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.